They tryna turn Trenton into Baby Flint. Been signs by depression on the billboards ever since. 100 years ago we was lynched. Now they use germ warfare to kill us. I'm convinced, got the evidence. I look around and it's evident. Then go down to City Hall and see so much negligence. Real art is intelligent. A true artist sends messages that speak to your intelligence. They fought and died so I can do my thing. Not to get drunk and high or join no gang. I will not let none of you die in vain. For my people I bang, bang, bang. My ancestors been through so much pain. I don't let them die in vain. My ancestors been through so much pain. I don't let them die in vain. I rep for you in everything I do. I rep for you in every place I go. I rep for you in everything I do. In every place I go. They say post-traumatic slavery disorder's fake, but I just tell them all to wake up. Everything we went through, what a way down a rape, bro. Isn't our genetic makeup. So I am my ancestors from block to block. Let's build like it's Tetris. We must unite, link up like a necklace. They fought and died and we disrespected. So I come to correct it. The legacy they left I protected. We only think about self and neglected. You're African but yet you rejected. No. My ancestors been through so much pain. I don't let them die in vain. My ancestors been through so much pain. I don't let them die in vain. I rep for you in everything I do. I rep for you in every place I go. I rep for you in everything I do. In every place I go. I do. I go.
Welcome back to another edition of New Freedom Exchange, your cultural expression for social dignity and community empowerment. I'm your co-host, Brother Deen, here with...
Assalamu alaikum, Sister Marsha here.
Wa alaikum assalam, peace and blessings. This is Imam Bilal Hassan here as well. We're back. New Freedom Exchange, NFX,
Could y'all hear me?
Digital exclusive. We can hear you, brother.
We got you.
We can hear you. We got you, man. We
Check
got you,
mic.
man. I know check mic. We hear you, man. You
Anybody
hear us?
there?
We hear you, we hear you.
Can you hear us, man?
Bloopers.
We about to get him out of here, man. It's like no. We do apologize for the technical blooper. But we are pleased to be back with you all here live on Facebook. If you're watching on Facebook, thank you all for watching. If you're watching on Facebook, drop us in the comment. Let us know where you tuned in from, your city, your country, or wherever have you. YouTube is the same. If you're tuned in on YouTube, thank you for tuning in on YouTube. And also drop in the comment section where you're tuned in from, your country or your place, city of residence. We are happy to be here. How are you, Sister Marsha?
I'm doing well today. Definitely exhausted though. Today was actually this week was kind of just so busy at work. And so these past 2 days were I don't know. I just was super overwhelmed. Yesterday, I must have had 6 Zooms back to back to back to back. It was crazy.
The Zoom killer, man.
And usually I don't mind them, but I guess because Thanksgiving is coming, everyone's trying to get their meeting in. And on top of that, I have a deadline for a grant. So I'm just I need to write, but I also need to be on some of these meetings. And so even today, I was trying to get some writing done, and it was just everybody needs your help for this, that, and the third. And I'm listen, I promise you that I don't have the capacity for all of this. But nonetheless, it's what I do. So I'll be all right, I guess. And we're talking about mental health today, so this is right on time. right on time. How are you today?
I am well, actually, doing well, feeling good, feeling blessed to be here. My week was pretty good. Definitely some new developments in terms of the show, in terms of just learning a few more things about myself as a person. Just had to get over a little hump in the road, a little bump in the road with some personal matters as it relates to some individuals. But nevertheless, I'm here. We're here. And, I just feel that tonight's conversation, exchange tonight, is right, like you said, right on cue, right on time with what everyone, not just ourselves, but what everyone is talking about now, this whole mental health piece and self-care piece. It's real. It's something that we all need to consider and definitely be mindful of. And we have PA on the check-in. On the check-in, I see. How you pronounce it? Carlisle?
I guess it's Carlisle. I think it's Carlisle, PA. Mm-hmm.
Carlisle, PA. I do apologize to Carlisle, PA, if I mispronounce that city. But shout out to Carlisle, PA on the check-in. Thanks for tuning in. We appreciate you. We appreciate that. And anyone else, drop us in the comments where you are, where you're at. And Brother Deen, we're gonna try to bring you back in to let us know how you feeling, how you doing. What's going on? You okay over there? You good? He's still trying to configure. Yeah, signal issues, man. Signal issues. That PA signal issue is a PA thing is signal. I don't know what's wrong with the PA. I don't know if your Wi-Fi is good out there, man.
I know you ain't talking about PA, Lincoln grad. I know.
Well,
you can't be talking about PA, Lincoln grad.
We had issues too with the signal out there, man. Back in the days, if you had T-Mobile, you had used to call T-Maybe on campus, man. You maybe have some signal on campus, man. That's how bad.
I had T-Mobile before it was T-Mobile. It was like OmniPoint or something like that. Yeah, way back. Way back. We talking beepers. Y'all know nothing about that.
Oh no, I did not. I don't know about the bleeper era. I mean, yeah, I don't know about the bleeper era. But anyway, so tonight we have our brothers, my brothers and founders of the Elevate app. It's called Elevate. Aaron Warrick, Greg Wilson, and brother Dante Wade, who are Lincoln University grads, by the way, like you have said, beautifully, Sister Marsha. Thank you.
I said that beautifully.
Yes, very beautifully. Very
HBCU love. Love.
Yes, we're not going to do that tonight.
But, no, we ain't doing that tonight.
We're not. But shout out to Howard University, as of course.
Yes, thank you. Appreciate you for that. Wait a minute.
What happened?
I saw somebody's mouth. I gotta wait till they get on the screen, but I saw somebody's mouth say HU, So he already knows that Lincoln graduate. Wait till you get on the screen. I'm gonna get him.
Okay. Well, yeah, we'll talk about that when we get on the screen. Yeah, we'll talk about that when we get on the screen, man. But yeah, well, it's all love. It's all love, definitely, for sure. We definitely appreciate our brothers for taking the time out to be with us this evening. And I want to read their bios. Well, Aaron is not here, but I'm going to read his bio anyway, because he'll be here shortly. Mr. Aaron Warrick. Mr. Aaron Warrick is a Philadelphia native, is a STEM advocate, an innovator, a co-founder, speaker, and engineer that's sharing opportunities that inspire, engage, and motivate emerging leaders in STEM and entrepreneurship. As an experienced control system engineer, Aaron has demonstrated history of working in the natural gas distribution and water and wastewater industries. Aaron is proficient in computer and electrical engineering, computer science, programming, implementation, project design, systems integration, software development, and SCADA systems. He has extensive experience in computer networks, information systems, and cybersecurity engineering. Aaron received his Bachelor's of Science in Computer Science from Lincoln University and currently pursuing his Master's of Science in Electrical and Computer Engineering at George Mason University. Okay, now, Aaron's purpose is to inspire emerging leaders, promote STEM awareness in urban youth settings, encourage wellness and self-care, provide innovative solutions to problems, and impact the world. Aaron is the co-founder and CEO of Elevate App LLC, an inspirational living and self-care mobile application that serves as a personal guide to mental, physical, and emotional success by equipping people to overcome adversity and manifest their best selves with bite-sized pieces of wisdom, guidance, and inspiration. The Elevate team truly believes together we can immensely impact the lives of individuals who suffer from mental wellness related issues. Self-care should be a priority to everyone. And when Aaron comes, we'll allow him to introduce himself to us. And then next we have Dante, Brother Dante Wade. Brother Dante Wade is a New Jersey native, born and raised in the South Ward of Newark. Where's Deen at?
Okay.
Where's
Dean's not on yet.
Oh
Yeah.
man, that's Newark.
Jersey
Newark is
love.
in the house. Oh,
Yes.
Newark is in the house, and Jersey City is in the house. South Ward of
Jersey
Newark.
City.
Dante serves as a motivator, community advocate, and public speaker. As a graduate of the Lincoln University in Pennsylvania, Dante was a mainstay on the Dean's List, president of 2 organizations, and a student athlete. His previous roles have included account manager for a major marketing firm, manager for award-winning Newark restaurant. Oh, Heaven's Delight. I've never heard of that. Have you heard, Sister Marsha, Heaven's Delight?
I haven't.
Heaven's Delight. I may have to pull up. I have to talk about Heaven's Delight, as well as operations, as well as operations staff member for the New York Red Bull soccer team. He currently serves as a business solutions manager at Per Scholas in Newark, New Jersey. Is it Scholas? SCHOLAS.
He's giving you a thumbs up. So yes.
Oh, okay. I don't want to disrespect Newark, please. I know this. I don't want to be on the bad side of Newark tonight.
Yeah, get rough out here.
Dante still resides in Newark and spends his time posting motivational messages on social media, coaching youth football, and developing his community through his own organization called Project Impact with a K. Believe it or not. Dante currently serves as a co-founder and chief product officer for Elevate App LLC, an inspirational living and self-care mobile application that serves as a personal guide to mental, physical, and emotional success. As a member of the Elevate team, Dante is passionate about the mission of assisting others with obtaining their most optimal life. He lives by the motto, stick to the fight. When your heart is hit, it's when things seem worse that you must not quit. Okay, now, without no further ado, Dante Wade and Greg Wilson is in the building.
What's going on,
Welcome,
everybody?
brothers.
Hey guys. Come off of mute, Greg.
Come off mute, Greg. Can't hear you.
Whoops.
There we go.
Sorry about that.
That's my new best friend. I saw him go, H-U? You
I don't know
know?
I don't know why.
I don't know what the heck Greg is
He was
doing.
trying to get on my good side. And I don't
Greg,
even know
what
why
are
he
you-
thought I wasn't going to catch it, because I could catch that like all the way down the street.
You got me. I was mouthing it, So I live in DC, so I hear it all the time. Near Howard, oh man, they say it everywhere. So when you say you caught me slipping.
So he was like, I was like, okay.
Well, Greg, you didn't send us a bio, so we're gonna allow you to take the floor first and introduce yourself to the people.
All right, well, everyone, again, thank you to, Sister Marsha and Bilal, for that wonderful introduction of the team. But again, I'm Greg Wilson, one of the main co-founders of the Elevate app. Just a little bit about me. So my background, I have a bachelor's in science of biology. I work in the government sector contract right now for project management. However, I've always had a passion for entrepreneurship. I've taken many endeavors on my own that became very successful. And along the road, of course, with me, Dante, and Aaron being friends, we're always sharing bits of information with each other. And, here you have the amazing, Elevate app, which consists of all 3 of us.
Oh, thank you, Greg. Well, Dante, we read your bio. We know. I have to. We have our co-host, Brother Deen, here. He's also from Newark, New Jersey. Deen, Dante, this is Newark. Newark is in the building heavy. You know what I mean? So, Dante, can you in your words, we always let our guests, we read their bios, but we always allow them to introduce them how they want to be introduced versus reading the bios. So go ahead and let the people know, who is Dante Wade.
So who is Dante Wade? First of all, I want to say thank you everybody for having us today. It's always an honor to be able to speak about our platform on other communication channels. So definitely thankful to be here, especially Bilal. Bilal knew me since my first day at Lincoln. So
Absolutely.
my brother.
Absolutely.
But simply put, I love people. I genuinely love people. That's been the drive for a lot of things that I've done in life, behind whether it be Elevate or any other ventures. People are always in mind, and making sure that I could take care of the people around me, the people in my community, and the people that are going to come after me. So quite frankly, that's the simple answer of who Dante is. Just somebody that loves people, somebody that wants to do for their community and do for the people around them.
Nice. So tell us about Elevate. Tell us what it is. Tell us, what the motivation behind creating it was. Give us some insight.
Absolutely. So, G, you want to take it, or you want me to answer?
You got it, brother. I'll let you kick it off.
Absolutely. So, Elevate essentially is an inspirational living and wellness mobile application. Our goal is to assist our users with mental, physical, and emotional success through bite-sized pieces of wisdom and just encouragement. And in terms of our story, so as we've mentioned plenty of times through the night, we all went to Lincoln University together. And because we went to Lincoln, it was a big family. Everybody knew each other. So after you graduate, it's always interesting that time period that you go through after graduation. And many of us went through that time of really trying to figure out young adulthood. And oftentimes in that process, you start to doubt yourself. You start to have different issues such as anxiety or depression or any other issues that we deal with that affect our wellness. And quite frankly, if your mind isn't productive, if your mind isn't in the right place, you won't be productive. So during that time we graduated, we started sharing inspirational messages with each other, whether it be in a text message, whether it be a video from YouTube, a quote, something just to uplift our spirits. And, we got to a point where we decided, if this is working for us, if this inspiration, this daily motivation to go out there and do better, if it's working for our small circles, let's take this and really expand it to the world. And that's how the idea of Elevate was born, and making sure that we could bring inspirational living to everybody who we touch.
No, that's true. Yeah, that's exactly what happened. I think, another point, just to a piece that, when we get this question, Dante, I think, sometimes we kind of forget to go, because of course, this was like a 2-year time period, right? And so sometimes we would, of course, we would send our text information, the links to the videos or a quote. But more importantly, we would definitely call each other. We would definitely check in, even take trips, one of us would have to be in another city. But the main idea behind that is, saying that you hear often, it takes a village, right? But you even need that, throughout any point of your life. You need people as your support. You need, again, your support system. You need, people you can call on, you can vent to, or other ears, ways for guidance, other, roads, people that can give you full advice. And those were very vital with me having Dante and Aaron around during that time. It was very, very vital. Very vital. And I think that part right there, because that was so long ago, because now the messages we send each other about business, it's like, we still inspire. Now we inspire each other like, all right, let's, deadline come, we got to get these things moving. But, at the end of the day, I think I just thought about that randomly. We forget, to add that part in there sometimes. That part is very, very important. You have to have a support system.
And so I love the fact that this was established by men, Black men. Very often in our communities, we hear the cliche, Black people don't seek out mental health, and on top of that, of women versus men, Black men are for sure characterized as the ones who definitely ain't about that life. So I'm like super proud and super inspired by the fact that you guys came together and that you supported each other through where you were at that time in your lives as you were motivating each other to kind of get to the next step. So talk to us a little bit about like, is that inspiring for you too, that it's Black men putting this together? Like, was that significant for you as well, or was it just kind of like, I just was trying to hold my boy up?
Honestly, I'll take this one first. Honestly, I didn't look at the significance of it being as though we were Black men, to be honest with you. I really looked at it from a mindset of we're people, we're individuals. We deal with emotions, negative, positive, indifferent. We deal with emotions. So I think really just us taking responsibility of our emotions and making sure that the people around us took responsibility to recognize their emotions as well. That was the highest priority in my mind personally. I didn't really take into account that, we're just Black men doing this. Of course, I know obviously we are Black men, but it wasn't the most prevalent thought in my head, to be honest with you.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And can you say to that point, is that why it contributed to it being so successful? Like seeing beyond the barriers, seeing beyond what people look at you, did you just tap it in?
Oh yeah, for sure. I definitely contributed to it because, like you said, we never marginalize ourselves, with that, because at the end of the day, again, we want to make sure we reach everyone. Mental health. Of course, we have our own personalized experience, from our, upbringings and which makes a culture, but we weren't trying to marginalize it. We knew that regardless of where you come from, what you look like, what age. Essentially, the vehicle of issues are different, but the primary, baseline of, dealing with the issues and the things that we deal with, the things that we want to obtain, they're all the same, regardless, man, woman, race, color, whatever. And so we were just trying to focus on helping people, progress through certain issues or, navigating their ways, when their mind is in a rough space, the best way that we knew how.
And so I'm glad that you said the best way we knew how, because I was just thinking, right, when you spoke about the fact that you all would call each other or send each other messages, these were college graduates, recent college graduates, sort of helping each other get to the next step. And so in terms of the messages that are on the app, are they universal? Are they intergenerational? Tell us a little bit about the messages that you receive through the app, and I guess maybe even walk us through like how someone would use the app.
Absolutely. So I'll take this question, Greg. So generally the messages that you will receive in the app are universal. And when I say universal, they're universal to everybody's life experience. You'll get a daily quote of the day based upon whatever category you pick. It could be a category of I'm feeling happy, so I want to see messages about happiness, or I've been feeling a little depressed, so I want to see messages about how to overcome depression. So the experience is really tailored towards the emotion and not necessarily the demographic. And when you actually get into the Elevate app, you'll notice we have different guided meditations, and the meditations could be from stress to finding balance to really just recentering yourself and overcoming procrastination. And that's really, our content is really universal, and it's more so towards the human experience, because it's important for us to understand everybody has a mind and everybody goes through something. So we try not to be too limited in who can be receptive to the information we share.
Yeah, essentially, because again, it's three of us, we're three males and, from all the same, culture, right? Ethnicity. So we can only reach everyone with our experiences. So what we did, we put out surveys online. We tried to talk to, as many different people as possible, about certain topics and get different perspectives. So then we would create, because first off, all the content is definitely in-house. It's created, all our content is in-house, whether it's through our internal, professional writers or ourselves. But it's we take the approach of trying to, land on different perspectives for everybody. Now, when you download the app, let me first say, it is very personalized. When you download the app, right, and you want to create your profile, so you enter your name and, all of the, personal information that's needed. The first thing that the app prompts you to do is to have it's a small questionnaire. It will assess, your mental state at that moment. It's interactive. If you guys get a chance, I don't know if you have or not, download the app, check it out. So it'll assess where your mind is currently. It'll ask you certain emotions. What are you feeling? Following, it'll ask, it's another question that it'll ask exactly, where would you like to improve? What areas in your life do you want to see improvement? And based on your answers in that questionnaire, the app will generate what type of content will go towards, you as that user for the moment. So again, that's why, we try to make sure, we took different approaches from everyone else. But it is very, very personalized based on the answer that you give.
Excellent. I think it's also very user-friendly. The app itself is very user-friendly. I do receive inspirational quotes on my phone. Yes, I'm saying, and I think they're very, very helpful. And I like to go back to what Dante was saying about highlighting the human experience. I think that's so key, so crucial, is highlighting the human experience, and because we, even though this application was created by young African American men, so I'm saying Black males, this application is not limited to just one specific demographic or one specific audience. It is something that is universal and something that can be accepted worldwide. So could you all also talk about some of the challenges and also some of the successes that the app has had over the past inception of it, since its inception?
All right, perfect. So let's start with the challenges, because that's always fun to talk about. During the development of the app, we actually scrapped our entire version 1 idea of what we wanted the app to look like. And this was about 6 months into the development of the app. We had some tests down in DC, and we had some users just talk about their experience in the app and offer a couple of suggestions. So we went back to the drawing board. We had a couple of hard conversations, because all of us have a vision of what we want the product to look like, but we had to make sure it was something that was user friendly. So we went back. The project ended up taking about 4 to 6 months longer than we anticipated it taking. But just those challenges of us making sure the app was together turned out to what I want to say is our biggest achievement, which was actually launching the app. And going back to our launch party, which was February 2020. It seems like it was 4 years ago at this point. But February 2020, we were actually able to launch the app. And that was after we had our first conversation in December 2018. So to be able to come out and launch the app and get to 4,000 users download and people interacting in the app, and now being in conversations with various organizations to take the app to the next level, we're constantly on a journey, and we've been having some good wins.
Yeah. Just as Dante said, just to take it back a little, during that 6 months, in the development, another, big challenge during that time, we were kind of facing two different monsters. We were building, our team and, trying to make sure, everyone, we're trying to get ourselves on the same vision, along with, again, restructuring the way we wanted the app to look, and constantly, having beta test sessions where we would, release a small version of the app, online, or like Dante said, in the Washington, D.C. area, where people were testing out and they were giving us feedback. Having a few of those, a lot of them were online, but those getting the responses back was definitely, a big challenge, a challenge. The biggest challenge that we face today is I would definitely say probably time management. And that goes along with, I would say, our success, because there are a lot of opportunities that we have in our hands right now that we're currently working on. And so, that's really the biggest challenge with us now, just trying to decide which route to go, exactly, the time management with all these opportunities in front of us, and of course, more importantly, the biggest challenge is definitely we're trying to make sure we keep a long-term vision. The way we operate, it's never just for this year. When we plan things out, we plan for the next 5 to 10 years, and try to, mitigate any issues that could come along, with the business or technology for that factor, because again, technology changes all the time. So, we try to, balance a thin line of, that challenge of, making sure we're staying ahead, and thinking forward, especially right now while we're in COVID. That's another challenge right now, trying to see exactly how far can we take this? Not how far can we take this, more importantly, how much can we help people? How much can we assist, especially right now in this moment, Unfortunately, in this COVID-19 situation, this is a great time for our app, because people are home. They spend a lot of time at home. There's a lot of articles going around, there's interviews going around. We have marketing, advertisement, issues online. And again, people, they're at home, they're dealing with their thoughts, they're dealing with their issues, and problems. And this is where Elevate is here to step in. But again, we're trying to maximize that. So that's one of our biggest, challenges right now. And again, the success is definitely the launch for sure. And a lot of the partnerships and organizations that are reaching out to us. There's a lot. Yes, we have a lot.
Yeah.
And can I just add?
Oh, go ahead. Absolutely. Go ahead.
I just wanted to add to Greg's point because I appreciated his transparency with saying time management just now. And it's funny because we often have to remind ourselves we're young adults. We're in our professional lives and we're really in the beginning of our professional career. So having to balance that with our passion, which is Elevate, as well as making sure that we're personally good, because we can't have an app about wellness and inspirational living when we're slipping in our own personal lives. So we have a couple of things on our shoulders. So I would say that poses a challenge, but nothing that we can't overcome.
And we bring that up in a lot of our meetings too. Like at the end of a long talk, and we've discussed something, went back and forth. We're like, hey, look, remember, all right, we're wellness. We got to make sure we're good. Don't overdo. We can overwork ourselves. Don't do too much.
Right.
It's still a journey, nevertheless.
As you were talking, I was thinking about, I was wondering how COVID impacted the launch of Elevate. I'm sure, because we talked about I guess the birth of it really was 2018, or the birth of the idea was 2018. And so no one imagined that this would be launching in the middle of a pandemic, right? Or at the onset of a pandemic. So I was just curious as to how COVID impacted the app. And I assume, as you mentioned, that there would be some benefits to it as well, considering that, this is something that can be used remotely, that's the whole idea of it. And then just being in a position during this pandemic that a lot of people are going through so many things in terms of their mental health because of what they've lost as a result, or because of transitions that they've had to make as a result of the pandemic. So it seems like it would be key time for Elevate. So, I just, whatever ride or roller coaster you got to take, I'm saying go for it.
Yeah, no, for sure. We were lucky because February things kind of kicked off with the lockdown and COVID-19 and in March. So
Right.
literally, like we just got in the door before things got a little out of hand. So we were lucky to do that because we had an in-person launch where we had a large event where people were there, and supported and downloaded the app. You can't have an event that large right now, unfortunately. But yeah, since it's been out, it's definitely it's definitely a skyrocket. Our downloads have been slowly increasing every month, especially because we're constantly getting invitations for partnerships with other companies or nonprofit organizations. There's been a lot of things going on. A lot of things. There's things that people are trying to plan right now. Amid COVID, or post COVID. They're trying to put things in place where we can assist the communities again. Or give back. In some type of way. There's a lot of opportunities, but I would say COVID has definitely helped us. It actually, unfortunately, it has helped.
Yeah, and just go ahead, Bilal.
No, go ahead, Dante. Go ahead.
Now, I was just gonna say, just to add to that a little bit, I say it also helps because we're adding to a conversation that's really, really rolling right now, and the conversation around wellness and mental health. I can't really remember a time where that conversation's ever been more prevalent than it's been in 2020. So I say we're in a good position to add to the conversation and just learn and continue to learn from each other so we could add to the brand and continue to help folks.
I think that's a perfect segue into my next question. For those who would be interested, Greg and Dante, in partnering, not for profits, or those who are interested in investing, or mental health therapists who would be interested in actually having a profile. How would they? What needs to be done, and how can people get more involved in what you guys are doing with the app?
So when people want to reach out to us or partner, if you go to our homepage, that's www.getelevateapp.com. Again, that's www.getelevateapp.com. And we have a section on there where you can send us a message. And then that's really for, enterprises, corporations, partnerships, or even individuals, like you said, if someone wants to, be a writer or a mental health, advocate for the app. We have all that space in there, and we see it every day. We're very responsive. Did you want to say anything on that, Dante? Sorry.
No, I was about to say that was pretty straightforward. You got it, bro.
What I was going to share, experience we had here with we call it mental health walks, mental health walks, right? And something as simple as every Sunday morning, a group of men meet up and we just walk and talk. And you'd be surprised. And afterwards we had follow-up meetings, and I shared with them about you guys' apps. And it was just amazed about something so simple could be so helpful. To your point about organizations and institutions partner with you all, how can you see these, alternative ways, as Sister Marsha say, the natural ways to re-engage with the public, right? Because the public, they get so bombarded with all these type of messages, all these type of ideas, and here you are with an app with the strategy to bring back balance to the mental health.
Yeah, well, with us,
so I'm saying, how can the community get more involved with you guys?
Oh, well, so for the community, we provide a lot of opportunities. But pre-COVID, we did a lot of in-person event communities. We did a lot of giving back. We did a lot of volunteering where people were able to get a lot of face time with us. Were able to answer a lot of questions. I mean, and generally, what it comes down to, again, we're still about helping people. So the community was always number one. At the essence of everything for this. So as of right now, again, for communities, for individuals, because of COVID, people have to, you have to go online again, and if you want to, become a part of, helping us as far as, marketing or any type of ways you want to assist with setting up, other events in your communities. Again, you go to the Get Elevate app website.com, send us a short message, who you are, inquire, what you would like to do. And we definitely can, get right involved. But, as far as our events with, communities right now, a lot of things are, of course, being held online. We're doing a lot of partnerships with, with services online. Right now, we have a couple of partnerships with some after school services. It's things that's going on because, students, are, doing schooling from home, and, parents need the assistance. So that's the type of the avenues that we're taking right now for assisting with communities.
Oh, that's definitely up the alley, because our beloved beautiful sister Marsha, she is the principal of a school here in Newark, the Claire Muhammad School, a private school here in Newark, New Jersey. Yeah, so that would probably be something of interest, for them, Sister Marsha, moving forward as a possibility for a partnership of some sort with the Elevate app team. I think that would be nice. I want to get a little gritty, man. On the show we get a little gritty. What I'm saying. In reference to
that's why my phone fell. That's why my phone fell.
Yeah, right. Because you knew it was coming, right, Deen? Because you knew it was coming.
No, I mean, we talked about the app. We talked. We gave introduction to the functions of the app and the functionality of it. We talked a little bit about you guys' story. A little bit, but I just want to dive a little bit deeper, because I know you both, all three of you all personally. So I'm saying we all went to Lincoln together, and we all went to that experience. And we have people on here who not familiar, so I'm saying, with you all, and then some who are. So my question would be a reference to you all's personal bouts with depression or bouts with, things of that nature, what could you all talk to a little bit of that, and did that lead you all to development of this app? Because to be honest, Greg, you're a biology major, and I remember we had a lot of classes together. So I was like, Greg, developing Elevate app or helping to develop this? I'm like, yeah, I mean, it's you guys have a hodgepodge of majors here, and I'm not saying that's a bad thing. That's a good thing, because mental health is interdisciplinary. It's an interdisciplinary field. But could you guys talk about your bouts with depression? Did it start on LinkedIn? Did it out of college? Did it proceed into the workforce after college? Like, can you just elaborate a little bit on that?
Yeah. Go ahead, Dr.
Bilal said, "I'm trying to get gritty." I see you, Bilal.
Bilal always trying to get gritty. Bilal always trying to get gritty. Somebody, we want to get gritty. That's Bilal.
I got you. It's an important question. These are good conversations for us to have. So I'd say mine really started when I graduated from college. And in terms of myself, I was somebody that always had a plan. When I was in college, I was involved in, I feel like, every organization on campus. I was somehow involved in it. I was an athlete, president of 2 organizations. So upon graduating, I just had this set plan of what my life is going to look like, what I'm going to be able to accomplish. So I started working the Monday after I graduated. So I graduated on Friday. I started working on Monday. Jumped into the workforce, and my plan was out the window. My plan was out the window. The job was not the job that I wanted at all. I wasn't really getting paid what I thought I should have been getting paid, and it just wasn't a good environment for me. And I really tied how I felt about myself to what I was doing professionally. So that had a major hit on my confidence, and I struggled with finding what my path was going to be and knowing exactly what I'm going to do. And I'm a really driven person. So I would say during that time period, I was experiencing a lot of self-doubt. I was experiencing, what do they call that, post-grad depression that people may call it. But that's what really drove me to finding a solution. Because I tell people all the time, like I work in professional development now. I tell people all the time, you really have 2 choices when your back is against the wall. You either going to quit, or you're going to solve your situation. You're going to find a way. And with that being said, I decided that I got to change my mindset. I got to change how I view my tasks. I got to change how I view myself. I got to change how I approach life in the world overall. And I don't want that to sound too deep, but that's what really changed my mindset. I started reading again. I started writing. I started making sure that I was good. And it really just ties back to one of my favorite quotes I've ever heard, is that you have to be a good friend to yourself before you're a good friend to anybody else. And that's what really, that mindset and really just going through what I went through, that's what really brought me to, all right, now I have to take this message and share it with everybody I know. Because on the other side of all that pain, it feels great. You feel really good. So that was a little bit about my journey.
Appreciate it. Greg?
Yeah, I mean, essentially, I mean, what it comes down to,
right.
We're all human. We experience
right.
the same type of, hardships and, tribulations. Some of them, come packaged a little differently. Some of them come with, a lot more, that other people can bear. And that essentially, we all were going through, different things. And it was just essentially, it's very similar to what Dante said. It was a mindset of, I want, things to change, and then more importantly, I knew it started with my own mind. And once we figured that out, that's when we start, supporting each other. And we realized the aspect that was important there was, again, like I was saying earlier, the, support system, the village, circle. But I mean, just like Dante, yeah, again, it was, graduating after college, just that instant shift from, college life to, adult life and, trying to set your feet, and everything, learning more about the world and the workforce, dealing with all, the normal problems everyone else deal with, your relationships, jobs, everything, and once I realized everyone goes through this, it was more of a, okay, now let's find a solution. And then once we found the solution, we realized, okay, this works for us. Why not try to give to other people? We have friends who, were dealing with the same issues, and unfortunately, some people were, were taking their lives because of this, so they can't, with the pressures of the stress. And this was happening, a lot. And again, so people we know, other people we're hearing about, whether it's, via social media or on the news, or just seeing our own family members or, people at work, why people are so stressed out. Why are people so angry, through the day-to-day functions? What is going on? And we realize, again, this starts within itself. So one thing I just also wanted to, highlight about the app, and us as co-founders is that, again, none of us, we're not mental health professionals. And so the app, it's a self-guided wellness app, overall wellness. But what I will say, all of our sources, all of our information that is in the app has been vetted, by mental health professionals. We do have a mental health professional that's, in the advisory that vets everything. But of course, in the future, in version 2, we have a lot more in store that will, include, the mental health professionals. But I'm pretty sure I covered like 2 things there, but I just wanted to bring it up about the app for a second, because we run into that question a lot. Some people, like you said, well, we all have different backgrounds. So it's like, you're not it's like, I'm not a therapist or anything, but I am human, and I do understand, basic emotions. I have empathy. I see the things that people go through. I'm very observant, and very caring, just like Dante is, the other project, Project Impact. That's about helping the community. To help the community, you have to see an issue. To see an issue, you must care. And that's where, all this kind of, came from. But again, we do have mental health professionals, in the background that are vetting the information.
Right.
Go ahead. Go ahead,
So do you think that the culture of American society, now we're going to get juicy. Do you think the culture of the American society helps to perpetuate this through this whole mental imbalance? Do you think the American society helps to perpetuate that through the culture? Meaning that we have to work super hard. A lot of people have to work 50, 60 hours. Some people are not making enough money. A lot of people have different economic statuses, it's just a whole bunch of stuff that people are worried about. So do you guys think, especially as young Afro-American men, as young Black men, do you all think that it's even harder, in terms of the perpetuation of this mental imbalance that's going on in our society?
Oh, absolutely. 100,000%. And I say that because in this country, it's oftentimes a meritocracy, and we believe that somebody's worth is tied to their level of productivity, or what somebody may believe their level of productivity is. That's why you get people who want to commit suicide or deal with depression, and it's directly tied to their finances or tied to their professional achievements or lack thereof. So the system that we're living in America of, you get what you deserve and you have to work extra hard, and if you don't get to a certain level, that's because you didn't work hard enough. You don't deserve to be there. That absolutely plays into a factor of the anxiety and the mental anguish that many people face, because they believe, and it's sad, but many people believe that their lives aren't worth anything if they can't accumulate a certain amount of money in their bank account. So the system that we're living in definitely plays a major factor into that.
Yeah, I'd have to back that up, right with you, Dante. And we have conversations amongst ourselves like this a lot, in other interviews. And the thing that we definitely, try to tell people is, and this is just from, our own personal experiences, is, a lot, of course, as American, culture, equates money with happiness. Everything you see, it's somewhere financial, but, it goes down to, again, if you're not happy with what you currently have, saying money is not going to bring you happiness. If you're not happy with $10, you won't be happy with 100. It's easy to pay your bills, but you still, there's something deeper inside, that is not fulfilling. And that's what we try to aim to, again, with the self, the self-guided wellness. We try to aim to have people, understand, where they may be hurting or where they can solve it. We just want to spark that question, inside their brain. But yeah, we do agree. Our culture, 100% as Americans, yeah, it's definitely perpetuates that. We felt it ourselves, just like Dante explained. After college, now we're completely 100% in the working labor class of American culture. We're feeling the pressure. Like Dante said, he thought you expected things to go this way because probably of everything we've seen so far, and culture has built this idea in your mind. And now it's coming into play, and now you're feeling, the effects, right? So it definitely does 100%.
And so I just wanted, there was something that you said, Greg, that stood out for me because I was sort of going to this area to ask my next question. And I guess not so much of a question, but more of an observation. Like, it's so important, and you guys can chime in with your thoughts behind what I'm about to say, but it's so important for people to be able to identify what it is that they're experiencing or what it is that they're feeling. I was playing with the app as you all are talking. So if you saw me like look at the side, that's because I'm sitting here playing with my phone. But it's asking you, how do you feel right now? Right. Exactly. And so you have to be able to be connected to your emotions and be able to identify what those things are in that moment to even be able to interact with the app. And I feel like that's so important. And sometimes, there are some people who have a hard time sort of identifying what I'm feeling and why I'm feeling it. And so right off the bat, the app is asking, like, do you feel happy now? Do you feel lonely? Do you feel mistreated? Y'all can tell I'm absolutely playing with the app because I'm quoting what was popping up on my screen. But it's important to identify, and it's important for us to teach even our children to identify what those feelings are, like, and not to just say that he's, fighting or she's fighting because she's bad. Like that's not enough. Yeah. We have to help people to identify what that feeling is that they're feeling in order for them to then move to the step forward, being able to come to a solution, and then being able to create the tools that they need, or come into contact with the tools that they need to create that resiliency when they're in that mode of whatever that feeling is, to come up on the other side of it.
Yeah. Exactly how, my bad. I was actually going to bring up Dante, just to her point, to prove exactly, we were actually in practice with that. So we have a partnership right now with a company that we're working with, and this company, I won't disclose their name, but this company, what they were doing, they advocate for students, who are trying to, move forward in life, from a range of high school to after college. And so they, throughout the students' matriculation, due to whatever reasons, the students experiencing outside of the program, they end up falling out of the program or falling behind. And the institution, they're not notified until it's too late. So they're, they can't, keep the students, on the guided path. And so that's where, our app has started to come in. And so now they're able to monitor the students, because they're tracking the progress, because the students are interacting with it. And so they're noticing, okay, if you're feeling, down or low today, they're able to go into it. Long story short, we're the tool for now. The organization is able to capture and retain those students in the program. And like you said, because they're helping to identify what is going on, where those students are standing, as far as mental wellness. And then they're able to assist them to get on the right track to continue, rather than, falling off the path and finding out 3 months later that the student was depressed.
Right.
It's very, it's very imperative. And that's, the tool that we, definitely try to implement.
That's cool. Did you want to add to that, Dante?
Yeah, and just to expound upon that point, I think what you brought up is so simple to say, but it's really hard for people, and that's really identifying how you feel and identifying their emotions. But when people are taught to suppress those emotions or aren't given room to freely express how they feel, they don't become familiar with them anymore. They don't become familiar with how to address those emotions. So I think really finding out and figuring out what's on your mind, how do you feel, how are you responding to your current situation? It's hard for a lot of people to do, but it's a battle worth fighting. And it's really important that we show our kids how to do it and the next generation how to do it. Because when we think back on past generations and our generations, we messed up because we weren't taught. We weren't taught how to really communicate those uncomfortable emotions or those negative feelings or how to express it. So it's really our responsibility to make sure that the next generation knows how to process those feelings so they don't have to make the mistakes that we made.
Right.
And I think that leads into the question that we're about to bring up on the screen from my good Nicole Braswell, who's the president of HBCU Hub, who Aaron actually was on a panel with us the Thursday. Was it Thursday? Yeah, Thursday for us for our organization. We did a virtual conversation with a school here in Manhattan, and it was a pleasure to have Aaron to join us to talk about his experience in the STEM, in the technology field. But leads me into going to lead me to the statement that I bring the question, in reference to what you just said, Dante, that a lot of the generations before were not or didn't know how to address, did not know how to address their mental health, and were not addressing their mental health. And he even goes back to this stigma, and is through what they call post-traumatic slave disorder or post-traumatic stress disorder. But we suffer as descendants of African people, post-traumatic slave disorder. Through the traumas, because of the traumas that we went through as a people, that still remains in the back of our psyche, and especially as Black men, we are sometimes very, very hard on ourselves, to a point where we don't want to show no emotions in the public. We don't want to show no emotions to our spouses. We don't. We're not vulnerable. We don't want to open ourselves up to vulnerability. We're just so hard because the society. Look at what's happening. Unarmed African American men are getting killed, and women being killed. Throughout the streets. And then on top of that, we have to work. On top of that, the prison industrial complex has gotten a lot of our brothers. What I'm saying? So, we're just bombarded. But that's why I said before, we're just bombarded by the society constantly. What I'm saying? There's constant elements and pitfalls set up for you to fall into. So, what I'm saying? So, I think that the application, what you all are doing, even on that level, what you all are doing on that level, as three of you, what you're all doing on that level is work that is needed. It's past due. What I'm saying? It's past due, and it's something that is highly necessary for us to start addressing our issues in our mental, because when you address that, you have to address your spiritual life, and your physical life, because if your mental life is out of whack, it's going to reflect in your spiritual and your physical. And the same goes for if your physical is out of whack, it's going to affect your spiritual and your mental. So all those tie together. All three of those tie together. So the question is, has it been challenging to attract Black men to this initiative?
So honestly, no, it hasn't been at all. We've met a lot of wonderful people through this process. And I'm not really using that term lightly. We've met a lot of great people through this process, great Black men in this process who are ready to engage in the conversation with us. You'd be surprised. There's a large community rising of Black men, Black people overall, that are just taking control of their self-care, taking control of their wellness and their overall mental health. So it hasn't been hard at all. It's been a really welcoming community since Elevators joined. So that's not a challenge that we've had to deal with.
Yeah, I think it's really the fact that, honestly, I think relativity is the word for it, because people see us, we able to, we're, as you guys see, we're transparent, we're ourselves, we're not faking for anything, people, we give ourselves. And I think people are able to attach to that, or, when they meet us, in some part of that, and being able to relate, have that common ground, it invites people in. When people understand we share a similar background, we have similar experiences, or I know someone has the same experience, and I can, relate to that. that I think that right there is the door that opens people in to come into it, because again, you have that common ground. You know somebody. You're like, oh, I grew up with Dante. He used to live around here. Like, and he did this.
Mm-hmm.
Oh yeah, let me check it out. And now the content is so good, it's actually getting you thinking. Now you're open to it. And go ahead.
Now, I was just going to add to your point, Greg, and we're open and transparent about we're still on our journey. We're not perfect. Every day isn't a great day for us. We don't have super motivated days all the time, but we're still here. We're still showing up. And it's something to be said about that. And that's a message that we want to spread with everybody, that you don't have to be great every day. You don't have to feel like, you're on top of the world every day. It's fine to feel down some days, but you just got to keep coming. You got to keep showing up.
Yeah, that's true. That's because a lot of people, now that we've created the app, people expect us to be mental health and like perfect advocates all the time, and it's like, listen, I'm still human. Okay, like
I ain't feeling it today.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna fake it, And again, that's relativity, because some people may turn an eye to it, like, oh, this guy, but then there's other people like that's very realistic. I feel the same way. He's dealing with something right now. It's not going to be the same reaction, but however, I do know the steps to get me back on track, and again, it makes a difference. But
right.
Well,
And it's encouraging. Okay, I'm sorry. Go ahead.
I was going to say, who are those models in your life or have been in your life, or examples that make you want to be a shining example to keep pushing forward?
So I'd say for me, man, my pops, and just overall my family. Like I'm really close to my family, and I've spoke to my father. And when I say speak, I mean have real conversations about life almost every day since I was 12 years old. And some things I learned from him, I said I want to do it just like that. Some things I learned from him, I said I don't want to do that at all. But I say overall, like, he just instilled with me that you got to take care of your business, regardless of what's going on, regardless of the circumstances, how you feel. At the end of the day, you got to take care of your business. You got to take care of your family. So I'd say really making my pops proud, and just him. He's been a really big inspiration in my life.
Yeah, me, I think the inspiration, it comes from, my experiences. I'm kind of on the other side, and I know there's plenty of people who can relate to that. Not everyone, you don't have, the chance to grow up with somebody, who's going to instill positivity or positive words, in you all the time, especially when you're dealing with hard things, right? But I don't know, I was just naturally the type of person I just always wanted better. Always wanted, so I forced myself to see a way. And I would look at TV, and want to embody, take different people on TV, and I would try to embody that person and become that man. That's me specifically. So if there's anyone that's watching that and you're in that position, there you go. It's definitely possible right there. And then also, again, the experiences, things you see growing up, the things you see people go through, people, struggling with, all types of issues in life, it makes you want to find a solution for it. And then of course, and relate to those people. And that is a part of the motivation, to help people get over the hump, people, who, are stuck in their mind mentally, that seeing that, that was the biggest motivation. Again, like Dante said, our friends who were dealing with, the issues, people who were committing, suicide, to get away from the issues, that was the motivation for me. Seeing myself, triumph through, my own situations. Thinking like, okay, if I can do it, somebody else can too. How can I be a helping hand? This can, be my gift to the world. Who am I to, learn this and be selfish with it? Right. That was the
So I just wanted to say that it's encouraging to know that, back to what Nicole had asked, it's encouraging to know that you're not having, like, engaging Black men with the app is not an issue for you. To me, it speaks to the fact that, mental health, taking care of your mental health and health wellness is a part of the mainstream conversation now. I'd be interested to know from your demographics in terms of the Black men that do engage the app, the age range, because I would imagine that it would be a younger population of Black men versus the older population of Black men, just because it is so prevalent having that conversation now than it was in generations prior. But then it also makes me think about what Dante said, and that his dad instilled in him, you have to take care of your business. And I think what we're finding now in society is that taking care of your business also includes taking care of your mental health, and that wasn't always the case.
Mm-hmm. Oh, I love that you said that just now. I love that you said that just now because you can't be productive if your mind isn't right.
Mm-hmm.
As much as you may want to force yourself to get that work done or force yourself to finish that project. If emotionally you're unstable, if mentally you got some things going on, you're not going to be your best self. So part of taking care of business is making sure that your cup is full. Like straight up, you gotta make sure your cup is full.
Yeah, and I teach that to my children too. You know, sometimes they want pieces of me that I just don't have in that moment, and I
Mm.
think that sometimes, you know, or not sometimes, I think that what we need to start telling each other or teaching each other is that it's okay. Like, you don't have to be the star player all the time, and it's okay to educate our children on what our capacities are. So, you know, I'll tell my children, like, listen, I love you, but right now I just ain't got it in me. Like, and it's nothing against you. I just can't do it right now. And so I would think that they've learned from me, like, okay, she just need a moment, and y'all just need to go ahead and give her a moment, and she gonna bounce back and she's gonna be good. But I don't believe that I got that as a child, right? That and so for just a personal, for me, you know, my mom drank growing up. She drank all the time. She wasn't someone that was like belligerent or anything. My mother was always like the fun person and happy and all of that. But it often makes me wonder, like, was that her coping, right? Of being like full, right? She was to capacity. And so that was her way to kind of, you know, and you hear people say take the edge off kind of thing, but it was because she was full. And so rather than having the I don't know if I want to say tools, but rather than being able to say it's too much for me right now, I need to take care of me and kind of just let some of this stuff fall where it falls, that was her way of making it better for her. And I don't think that as a child, like, I got to understand. For me, it wasn't an issue because it was always what it was. But at the same time, I didn't learn that when things get too much, I need to go take care of myself. It was more like, if things get, the underlying message was, when things get too much, you go and self-medicate. And I never wanted to do that because I just felt like I just felt like something wasn't right about that. But there are people who see that and they're like, you know what? I remember when this would happen, this person would do this. And so I'm going to go do that too, because that's the solution.
Yeah. And it's a lot of unhealthy coping mechanisms out there,
Right.
Unfortunately. It's a lot of unhealthy coping mechanisms. And you say you were a child, just children are like sponges, as you know. And they're gonna see what's in their environment and they're gonna think, okay, this must be what I should do. This must be the right coping mechanism. Fortunately, you were able to look at that situation and say this isn't what you wanted for yourself. But, you know, sadly, people won't look at situations like you did, and people may fall right into what they've seen, and it just perpetuates an ongoing cycle from generation to generation.
And with you saying that, if we teach resiliency, if we teach strategies in those moments of overload or stress, you know, then we're more likely to produce a more positive result when things feel like they're too much for us. So I just appreciate the fact that you guys came together and created this app for the benefit, not just of, you know, what you were doing amongst yourselves, but also for the community, because we really do need to have those tools in place for when we get to those points where it just feels like too much.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Because we all get there. We all have those moments.
Absolutely.
Well, I mean, I think that we have had a great conversation. I believe we had a great conversation this evening, and we are over our time. But it's been such a great conversation with you all, my beloveds. You know, since we definitely appreciate you all for coming and stopping by and participating, and also giving the knowledge that you all have through this application that you all have created. Is a marvelous thing. So as we close out, before we let everyone go for this evening, we want to remind our audience. We want to remind our audience, everyone in the audience, that this is Elevate. This is the Elevate app. It is available in the App Store and Google Play right now for your consumption. Yes, I'm saying. So please do not hesitate. You know, the brothers have been very transparent this evening with us all, you know, and they laid it out very nicely that this is a serious matter and it takes baby steps, you know, as we take a hold and a grasp of our mental health, you know, just like anything in life, it's baby steps. Learning how to drive, learning how to swim, whatever the case may be, you had to take steps in order to do that, right? So why can't we take the steps in order to take a hand and take control of our mental health as much as we can during these times of challenge, of difficulty, of grief, of depression, etc., and abuse, you know, from a lot of people who've been abused mentally, physically, and spiritually. Now is the time to log in. And these are one of the resources that we have available, the Elevate app, available in the App Store and Google Play. So please download it. Those who want to get involved in partnership, and maybe get these brothers to come to do a workshop for you all, or whatever the case may be, this is the website, getelevateapp.com. Getelevateapp.com to reach out and send the brothers a message. Let them know that, you know, you saw this presentation this evening. You checked out the app. You know, download the app first, man. Before you reach out to the beloveds, download the app first. Play with it. You know, set your profile up at least. You know, so I'm saying, you know, and then come to the brothers and see how we can, you know, you guys can work a partnership or work something out, you know, to come to present, you know, at the school or whatever case may be, because these brothers made themselves available to you all, and I'm sure they'll make yourselves available on other platforms as well. They're also on Facebook. The Facebook Elevate app. That's it. Plain as day. Elevate app. You go like them on Facebook page, and Instagram. Elevate app _ Elevate app _ for their IG. And Dante, can you talk to us briefly before we get to closing remarks about your Project Impact, what you're doing in Newark?
So Project Impact is a nonprofit organization that I started with one of my good friends and line brother, Terrence Berry. It's actually an organization centered around athletics and community service. So what we've done, we've partnered with different Pop Warner players, basketball players in the area, and we just had different community service projects. We had a park cleanup. We fed the homeless at a church a few times, and we collected goods for a shelter in East Orange that unfortunately had a fire. So Project Impact is literally just about having events with athletes present to make a change in our community and making sure that we show them that they're more than just athletes. They're more than just what their bodies could do on the field. So that's the gist of Project Impact.
Nice. So you gotta connect with Master Muhammad Noor. We gotta get you.
We're gonna talk.
Yeah,
we're gonna talk.
Absolutely.
Yeah, connect with the brothers and sisters out of Newark. Is one of our staple in the indigenous African American Muslim community. Master Muhammad Newark is a staple in the African American Muslim community. It has a lot of history. A lot of pioneers have passed on. A lot of pioneers still live to tell the stories of the days of the bean pie, which, you know, you all probably see me promote, the New Freedom Pie, which is Brother Deen's product with his family, but also the aspects of economic do for self, businesses, Steak and Take. I'm sure you all probably heard of Steak and Takes before. That was us. Yep. That was our movement. The fish industry with whiting fish. et cetera, et cetera. The Muslim Journal, which was formerly known as the Muhammad Speaks newspaper, still exists to this day. So we have a lot of history. Mash Muhammad Nur has a lot of history. There's a lot of brothers there who are into boxing. The Imam is a boxer. He trains boxers. Brother Yassine, the assistant Imam, shout out to Brother Yassine.
Lifting tables in the park.
Yeah, he's lifting tables in the park. I mean, he's a workaholic. He might be listening. He also
if he's in Weekway Park, I probably know him.
You probably saw him lifting some tables in Weekway Park. Yes, that was him. If you see somebody lifting a picnic table, that's him.
No, that's our brother. That's our good brother. You know, and there's some good brothers and sisters there. So please, they'll definitely like to partner with Project Impact and with the Elevate app in any capacity, in the way that they can, to spread the message of mental health, of physical health, of just giving back to the community as much as they can. Before we sign on, get closing thoughts. Just like to let everyone know, that on Sunday we'll be back with a double whammy. We have two shows.
Double whammy.
5 p.m. Yeah, double whammy. 5 p.m. 5 p.m.
I'm gonna be on that Elevate app. Like I feel stressed. I'm joking.
Don't put me on if you're stressed.
No, I'm not gonna put stress.
No, seriously, we do have a very special show Sunday at 5:00 with our good sister, one of the sisters, Muslims who Indigenous again, who won this election. This election was a very crucial time for the world, but specifically here in America. Sister Medina Wilson Anton out of Delaware. She's now going to be the first Muslim to hold a position in the assembly in Delaware state history. So this is a milestone for not just for her and her family, but for the world and for the Muslim community as well. She'll be on at 5:00 to discuss her story as relates to what got her involved in community activism at a young age, politics and etc. and just that. And then of course we're back with our community conversations with our beloved brother Imam Rashad Abdul Rahman of the Atlanta Masjid. We'll be building on a conversation called manhood and womanhood. And what does that look like now? What does that look like in the African American community? What does that look like spiritually? What does that look like from the metaphysics standpoint, et cetera, et cetera? That conversation is going to be juicy. We ask you all to come back and participate with us in that juicy conversation. And on Monday, we have our beloved, another Lincoln alum will be with us in that evening at 7:00. Brother Antoine Wallace, also a graduate of Lincoln University. The Just Cause Foundation. This Thanksgiving, they'll be giving away this Thanksgiving baskets in the city of Philadelphia with collaboration between People Standing United and the Lincoln University Alumni Council, Young Alumni Council. He'll be on to discuss that platform and his inspiration to get involved with philanthropy as well. And also, lastly, we cannot forget our patron for this platform. We have a patron for this platform, and we do ask for your support. Patreon.com/NFX Daily. We're trying to produce daily content, daily segments, and things of that sort. There are perks that come fall underneath your contribution. We appreciate any contribution at any of those levels that are listed on that site. Again, we're trying to produce daily content. So even for the Elevate team, even for you all, this is a platform. We like to extend this platform to you all as well in the foreseeable future. If you all will be interested, we can talk offline more about it. But trying to produce daily content, even segments, short segments for benefit for the community. This platform is you all's. You can take advantage of it and to galvanize not just for the Elevate app, but just to get Elevate app out there, but also get your all stories and just talk about whatever you guys want to talk about. So I'm saying this platform is for that. It's a community platform. And lastly, but certainly not least, the Bilal and Trust, which is streaming down on the bottom of your screen. The Bilal and Trust is for the preservation and the digitization and the archives of the indigenous African American Muslim communities' contributions to society from all aspects of culture, education, business, and government. We are blessed to have with us some of the elders who still exist, who have a lot of archives that they haven't digitized, and they want to digitize for the benefit of not just the Muslim community, but for the benefit of everyone to read this history, to have this history in your hands digitally, and to be able to access it for future generations. Any monetary contribution is appreciated. Again, large or small, we take it all. No quarrels, man.
You about to do a rap. You about to do a rap.
I felt it.
I like that.
I
like that one.
We take it all.
I was like, oh, you got your 16, Bilal?
So we're like the quick 16. But let's get some closing remarks. Who would like to go first in our closing remarks, please? Greg?
I'll go first since I was last on. I just wanted to say I appreciate you brothers coming on, sharing with us your journey, sharing with us your vision. What I love the most out of everything that we've been talking about, I kept hearing it as you all articulate what you like to do and what you're doing, is that finding solutions, right? You hear so many people talk about their fault finders. Everybody's looking for the fault. Everybody's looking for the blame. Everybody's looking for this and that. And you guys are taking responsibility, taking ownership, and pushing forward. So I salute you, and you definitely have our support 1,000%. Appreciate you guys.
Thank you. Definitely appreciate you guys for having us tonight. Definitely great, insightful conversation. I appreciate you. It's good to see you again, Bilal. It's nice to meet you too. It was lovely. I definitely appreciate it.
No problem.
Yeah. I just want to say shout out to the New Freedom Exchange. Definitely honored to have us. We appreciate the conversation. We appreciate the invite. And to everybody who's watching, just keep pushing. Keep pushing. We tell ourselves we got to go to the gym all the time to get our bodies right. So make sure our minds are right too. Don't do yourself a disservice. Take care of yourself.
Absolutely. I'll let Sister Marsha go last because she's the wisdom. We call her the what we call her, Deen? I forgot.
The wise lady.
Oh, man. The wise lady.
The wise lady. Come on, man. Wake up.
We'll let wise lady Marsha go last and close it out with her beautiful remarks. But again, I appreciate, I can't say that much how much I appreciate you all. You, Greg, Dante, and Aaron, instead of saying for what you all have accomplished and what you all will accomplish with this app, I think is a gateway to much bigger success in terms of not just you all, but in terms of the world, in terms of society. I think the app, with the Creator's grace and with His mercy, will certainly get to become even bigger platform and serve as a catalyst for change in terms of people taking charge of their mental health, in terms of people taking charge of just themselves, and just helping to navigate, through this troubling times that we're in, and just moving forward. So again, I applaud you all, brothers, and I definitely keep you all in prayer, for your success. I definitely, again, I just think that the app is timely. I can't say that enough. I think the app is very timely. I think you all are, very much onto something great, with your endeavors. And I think the community appreciates it. And for those who have, again, my last plug for our beloveds, well, not my last plug, maybe my last plug on this live show, but I always will promote, you all, what I'm saying, and anyone else doing exemplary work in the community. We will always promote you all, what I'm saying, on this platform is for people to download and to, engage in the app. So my last call is for everyone to please download the Elevate app on the Apple Store and Google Play. It's for your benefit, not the brothers, for the brothers' benefit, but for you all's benefit. What I'm saying? They created it for us out of a service, out of a need, out of a necessity. What I'm saying? And do yourself a favor, and download the app and engage and give them feedback. There's a feedback form. There's a feedback where you can give the brothers a holler and let them know what, are there any kinks that need to be worked out? Are there, because apps always need to be debugged all the time from the back end. So any kinks that you see or any ideas that you all like to see in the app, they're open and transparent, and they'll hear out anything that you all say, some saying that you bring to the table. So definitely download the Elevate app.
And so I just like to add, Dante and Greg, thank you for joining us this evening. I really appreciate you. I know that the initial motivation wasn't to create the app from, as Black men, but I love that it's coming from you. I think it speaks volumes that it's coming from you. I think that it, when we talked about, whether or not it was hard to sort of get Black men connected to the app, and you said no, I think that's the speaking of volumes, that the fact that it's coming from you. And as Bilal said, I think it's very, very timely. To our listening audience, download the app, download the app, download the app, download the app. I say that because Dante and Greg, and I don't remember your other partner's name.
Aaron.
Okay. They're ours, right? They're our people. Support them. And on top of supporting them, get what you need to take care of yourself. Oftentimes we just pile on things, or even if we don't necessarily feel like we're piling on things, we're not necessarily dealing with the things that are not most beneficial for us. And so let's start resolving some of those issues. Let's start motivating ourselves to do bigger and better and be greater, be our best selves. I mean, you often hear me talk about becoming our best selves. Like, I mean that. I mean that from like the depths of my soul. I want us all to be our best selves, and taking care of your mental health and focusing on wellness is a part of that journey. And I'm so glad that it's a part of the mainstream conversation in this day and age, because it's key and it's vital. And if we continue to talk about it, and then we teach our children to deal or to get through the things that they struggle with and give them the tools, we'll be so much further ahead as a community of people, whatever community you ascribe to. And so this is a tool, right? This is a tool to be able to do that. And so if nothing else, download the app, see what it's about, see how it fits into your life, and support our brothers.
What song we closing out with? What song we closing out?
Thank you so much.
What song we got for tonight?
I was trying to get Rise Up. I don't know if y'all ready for Rise Up, but my app, because we elevating up in this piece. So I was okay. But it's not letting me be great right now. So
let him be great. Let him be great.
I'm gonna go with our classic Freedom joint, Bashir Jones.
Yeah, okay. From the councilman, man. Shout out to the councilman.
Yes. This is one of my favorites anyway.
Yeah. Morehouse. He's a Morehouse grad. He's the first Muslim councilman in the city of Cleveland. Coming from the Ward 9.
Ward 7 Act. Ward 7 Act.
Get your numbers right. Get your numbers right, babe.
Ward 7. He has a story to tell. Anyone want to check back from our previous podcast? We had him on, and he's also planning to run for mayor, and he'll be the first Black Muslim mayor, in the city of Cleveland. So we definitely want to support him. Definitely check him out on Facebook and on Instagram, Bashir Jones. He's also a poet, which you will see now. And until next time, everyone. And then again, thank you, Dante. Thank you, Greg. Thank you, Aaron. Shout out to Aaron.
Thanks, everybody. Thank you.
Shout out to Aaron. You know what I'm saying? And until next time, everyone. Peace and blessings. Assalamu alaikum.
Assalamu alaikum.
Everybody.
Yeah.
Emotional, man. Bravo, I appreciate you, man. Mac, I appreciate you, man. Davey, what's up, man? It's our time, man. This is that. Jesse Jackson, he said that we are somebody. America treat us like we ain't nobody. We need help from somebody. I'm getting tired of seeing black bodies. We'll be okay, that's what my mama said. We unhealed, that's what the trauma said. Yes, we can. That's what Obama said. American terror. That's what Osama said. You want to break something, go and break the ceiling. You want to start something, go and start the healing. How you want to raise hell but won't raise your children? Wanna burn the building but won't start building. I want the violence to decrease, whether it's the streets or it's the police. Yo, be a real one, stay away from snakes. I gotta make a change, no time to waste.
Tell me what you see when you look at me. Is it something that you hate, or something that you wanna be? Help me understand how you can be so mad at my existence. On our way to freedom, on our way to freedom, fighting for our freedom, fighting for our freedom. On our way to freedom, on our way to freedom, fighting for our freedom, fighting for our freedom.
The system ain't broken, doing what it's supposed to do, realest words spoken. Kill us in live and live in color, brother choking, called on his mother, dead in the open. Anybody go and break some glass, it take a real one, bro, to give a class. Anyone can pull a gun and start to blast, but it takes a real man to give a pass. Be proactive, not reactive. How I make a change, Bashir? Be active. Boy, you go and sell some dope, but won't go and vote. Father left early, he don't know how to cope. I came too far, boy can't fail. They said I'm a sellout, shit, what I sell? I don't never fold, I don't never fold. And what's not for sale, brother, is my soul. Question you gotta answer, brother, what's your goal? You wanna be a diamond or stay cold? You gotta change the system. Shit, you can break a window, but they gon' fix them. My point is, you expect a racist to change? He ain't the problem. You gotta change your brain. Benefit from oppression, but when you gon' change and learn the lesson? When you gon' realize that you a blessing? Gotta work, in the afterlife I'll do my resting. When you gon' realize that you the blessing? Gotta work, in the afterlife I'll do my resting, it's the truth.
Freedom is not won by a passive acceptance of suffering. Freedom is won by a struggle against suffering. Racial understanding is not something that we find, but something that we must create. What is needed is a realization that power without love is reckless and abusive, and that love without power is sentimental and anemic. Power at its best is love, implementing the demands of justice.